Hi friends, it's been a busy couple of weeks, but we are excited to be getting outside a bit more. We've been working on some outside projects and inside projects and just a little bit of everywhere. But we cut down some bushes up front, kind of brightened up that landscaping. We still have a long ways to go outside, but it's getting there. Did some backyard work, but we've been working inside a lot too. We've been working on our plumbing the last few weeks. We really have a big project ahead of us. We are redoing all the hot and cold water pipes using copper piping and insulated copper. And we also had to redo all the drain pipes for the bathroom. The bathroom's taking a little bit longer than expected, but that's okay because we just have a lot of plumbing areas to work on. And we really are only able to work on the weekends, and like during the weekday, like after work. So it is taking a little bit longer than expected, but we will get there. Everything's moving along. Some days we don't work on the bathroom. Some days we're working on other projects and trying to figure out other things because everything's so connected, especially when we're trying to plan out the plumbing and electricity things that we want to change and move around. We just like have to look at everything to see like, okay, well, if we're going to add this or move this, do we need to move something else in the process? But we're getting there. It's getting there. One of the hardest projects so far, I feel like, especially with me and Grayson, has been laying the self-leveler. We had probably a very big disagreement trying to level this floor because it like started drying so fast and like we didn't know what we were doing. So this floor right here eventually dried and Grayson had to hammer it all up by hand and relay a whole new level because we made it way too thick. But you know what? It's okay because we learned from the process and that's just part of redoing a house. So it's okay. If someone asks how you do this, okay, well now we know.
Can you get right here?
So it's okay. It's all a learning experience. While the bathroom floor was drying, we decided to start taking down the kitchen cabinets and gutting the kitchen, which I freaking love demoing. Like, that's my favorite job. It really is. We were hoping to use these cabinets again and put them in the garage eventually. But as we were taking the cabinets down, these cabinets are built onto the wall. They're not like standalone cabinets. So it's just like shelves and then like the outside frame of the cabinet. There's no like sides and like backs. So these cabinets really aren't salvageable or you can't really reuse them. And the paint on them is so thick and lacquered. So we are going to be tossing these cabinets. They're not salvageable. And the way that they put them up, they use like 4-inch nails, so many nails to put up all of these cabinets. So it really was a process taking them down and like taking all the pieces apart because like you had to pull apart certain pieces to really be able to like take the shelves off and like take the backs of the shelves off and like the frames that hold the shelves up. So it really was a process. I like wanted to go in there with like a sledgehammer and just like bang everything out, but like they really had so many nails and then like these things weren't budging unless like we did it the right way. So it was a process. It did take time. But it's fun. I like doing this. It's like a reverse Lego set. And if you know me, I love to build Legos. When we first walked in this house, and like looked at it for the first time, I thought this kitchen was so tiny. But as we like started to take down the cabinets, it really did open up, and there's so much more room in this kitchen. I was a little nervous for having like such a tiny kitchen, but I actually really like the size of it. And we are kind of keeping like the same kind of layout for the kitchen. We are probably going to do like a little island on wheels or something to put in the middle. We're not really sure like what we're going to do like table wise, if we're going to have a table in here or if we're going to try and put a table somewhere else in like maybe like the living room area or like the sunroom area. So that we're still trying to figure out, but we kind of do have like the layout for the kitchen. And I'll probably show that in like the next video, of like all the ideas of what's coming up. I try to bring Ollie to the house every once in a while so he can get like familiar with it as like projects evolve and everything. When we first got the keys to the house, I brought him like probably like a couple days like after, and like we still didn't have like the heat running or anything yet, and it was like so cold outside and he hated it so bad. He hated it there. It was like smelly and dirty. But now he's starting to like it, and we've like walked him through the property and like the woods, and he like loves running around and like getting muddy and like smelling everything. So he's getting used to it more and more each time. We will eventually need to build a fence in the front yard and like the side yard for Ollie, just so like we feel safer when he's out there, because people drive on our street really fast. And we are like a little bit set back, but still I would just feel a little bit safer. Especially with Ollie, he loves to like run around and just sit outside and like be out there with us too. And yeah, but that's projects down the line. We have that on our mind, and that's definitely something that we want, especially just like noise reduction and more privacy in the yard, is building a fence. I am so excited to just like start this kitchen and like bring my ideas to life and have my own kitchen space, because I love cooking, and like I love cooking from scratch, and I like have like lots of little jars and everything. And just like at Nana's house, I like can't leave lots of things out if she like doesn't like stuff like that on the counter, or like she'll throw away my little jars of like things that I've been saving. So yeah, this soffit up here is going. I don't know why soffits were like a thing back in the day. Like maybe they were just like easier for people, but I feel like this is not easier. Like I don't understand why people like made soffits. Like it really doesn't seem like it made the project any easier. But the soffit's going. There's like a light above it. We'll put like maybe like a little, we'll keep that light there or something. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. But yeah, pretty much the layout's gonna be the same. I would love to do a bigger window right here. But since our house is cement block, cinder block, something like that, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that, and I'm not sure how expensive that might be. So we might keep the same size window. If we can't change out the window, I would love to do a skylight. That is my dream, but we'll see if it happens. one's about to fall down on your head.
That it is. It's nailed in right. Well, now it's not. Free. You want me to save any of this for you?
Yeah. Okay, I went out of town for a few days. So Grayson came back and finished gutting the kitchen, and I made him record videos. As you can see, this wood flooring is the original hardwood floor to the house. And it's so interesting. So they probably put up the drywall and then they laid the floor and then did everything else on top. And then they later laid linoleum, and it's only around the outer edge of the cabinets, because these are the original cabinets to the house. They have so many layers of paint. During this demo process, it's really made me so surprised of how dirty some areas were, and this was underneath all the cabinets, and just look at that insulation. It was decomposing, and there's so much dust and mice poop everywhere. I'm so glad that we're taking kind of everything apart and restarting and just cleaning up these areas. Walking in the house now, it still kind of smells, but it smells better each day. And once we get to warmer days, then we can have the windows open and really air out this house and make it clean. We've been doing a lot of work on the house. We just gutted out the kitchen cabinets. I'm gonna work on taking down all the plaster walls today and just cleaning up the floors. And then I have a list of some other stuff that I need to work on too. And Grayson's gonna work on plumbing and finishing the bathroom floors, putting the cement board down so then we could put the tub in, connect drains and water pipes, and then we can start laying tile. I'm gonna flip around my camera so you guys can see a little tour of everything. Okay, so here's the kitchen. So all the cabinets are out. They literally built the cabinets to the walls. And to the floor. So everything's out. That was a heater vent. That's where the sink was. So we're gonna work on taking all this plaster down because these holes were so big and we want to insulate these walls. So we're gonna take all this plaster down, start fresh, insulate, and put drywall up. We're gonna take down the soffit right here too. And then we'll take up these floors. And then we'll take this stuff down too. And then over here, living room really hasn't changed much. Pretty much looks the same. It's just our catch-all. And then this is the bathroom. We didn't really do a good job at using our self-leveler, but you learn through this process and it will be okay. We're gonna figure it out. So Grayson's gonna fix up that floor today, lay the cement floor, and then we'll figure out all the drains, the piping for the shower, and we'll put the tub in. We got a lot of work cut out for us. Here's this room. This room looks the same. The floor is taken out. And yeah. So when we took down the walls in the bathroom, it was super easy because it was drywall, because they had redone the bathroom probably maybe like 20 years ago or so. But these walls are like, they're very interesting. So it's a tongue and groove plaster. So it's not like old plaster walls. So they're like sheets of like rectangle plaster that are like tongue and groove. But then there's also like a probably half an inch, like almost like drywall looking like cement board. And that's what they use like as their insulation, because they didn't put any insulation in any of the walls. So taking these down is kind of like very tedious, because it's not like you can just like cut it with a razor blade and pull it down in sheets. Like you have to like hammer it around like the studs and like try and pull down like little pieces. And sometimes you'll get big pieces, but it is very tedious. And it's like probably a good inch and a half thick of like drywall plaster concrete board. So pretty much that this whole day I hammered the walls in the kitchen. It was actually very fun. I love doing it. While I did this, Grayson hammered up the self-leveler in the bathroom, because he decided that he was going to start fresh and lay a whole new layer of cement board or self-leveler, because the first time we self-leveled, it just turned out way too thick and the floor would have been like so much more higher. And like there would have been like a step into the bathroom, like a step up into the bathroom. So he decided to hammer out all the cement board, like self-leveler, while I was doing this. And of course he comes in to help because I can't do everything by myself, because it's a lot of work and you kind of have to be very, very strong for a lot of this stuff. And I'm pretty strong, but sometimes I need a little bit more muscle. It's always fun opening up walls and like discovering new things behind the walls, or like what you hoped was like not behind the wall. Like when we took down the soffit, like we were like hoping like, oh, I hope there's not like a vent or like tons of electricity or like a plumbing thing behind the soffit. And like when there isn't anything behind it, you're like, yes, we don't need the soffit. So it's fun like taking down walls and like discovering things and like being excited, like, yes. One part that I was super curious about when we were gutting the kitchen was this chimney right here. It goes up through the kitchen and then goes upstairs. And in the upstairs area, it's covered in plaster on the bricks. So we weren't sure if it would be covered in plaster in the kitchen too. But I am so happy that it's not, because we are going to leave the chimney exposed. It's so pretty. And by taking down this drywall, we gained about 4.5 inches of space in the kitchen, and it just flows so much better. It doesn't feel like one end of the kitchen is separated from the other end now. Like you can see the whole kitchen and like walk freely. I am so excited about this. And so excited what this kitchen will be looking like in just a couple of months. Thank you so much for joining us through this whole process and watching everything. Stay tuned for more.